Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, all of you, my Instagram family. A very much warm welcome to Let's Uncork with Lovely Gupta once again. If I'm audible to you, please kindly ping me here because I'm using a new headphone today. I'm not very sure it's good enough for live or not. So yeah, we have some viewers with us. Our guest is already ready. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us in. यहाँ फॉलो करना मना है SG2802 राजकुमार लवली टन okay there is a somebody who is also lovely here Vikram Jaiswal Amir Khan Kane Singh Rajkumar Yash yeah, good morning all of you, and by now you must be knowing it. I have a very versatile guest with me in today's life, and personally I am very much motivated by her to yeah, hi Sudeep Roy Chaudhary, hello. Yeah, there are many other, I'm just trying to read out all the names. Yeah, back to my guest. So I am very much inspired by her, and I'm sure after this live, if you just scroll her feed, her reels, her content, I'm pretty much sure, especially the ladies out there, you'll have something or the other to gain from her. Definitely, I can vouch on that. So yeah, I'm very much fine. A little bit of cold with me. So it's already 11. I'll just ask my guest, Mrs. Anupama Dalmia. Ma'am, if you have received my request, kindly join. Hi, hello, ma'am. A very good morning, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're very clearly audible. Good morning, lovely, and I hope I am audible as well.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. You're audible, and most probably more than your voice, your vibes are too much strong right now, and I can feel that. As usual, very positive, very kind of you.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here with you today.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome to Let's Uncork with Lovely Gupta, ma'am. And finally, we are meeting virtually. We are meeting finally after maybe a couple of months of talking to each other.
Mm. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's
So,
been
ma'am,
more than 2 months. Yes, yes.
more than 2 months. Sometimes you were not well, sometimes I was not
Yeah.
well. So it was like back to back. We were just postponing. So, ma'am, you are an entrepreneur, a writer, socialite, NGO worker, mother, content creator, cook, choreographer. I generally do not read my questions, but today I have to because there are so many positions you are holding. And how many more hats do you want for yourself? To be very honest, please tell me.
That's a very interesting question. I think our heads are really, bigger than what we imagine, and definitely we all can don a lot of hats. So I'm always, whenever I feel like donning a hat, I'm all ready to don more also in the future. And yeah, I just love all my roles. The reason I do so many things is because I'm passionate about each of the things I do. They all, mean something to me, and that's the reason I'm doing it. And even though my life does get hectic at points, or where you're into so many things, and of course I have a child as well. But I think I don't mind it because this is what I had always wanted. I think I'm living my dreams, and what better than that?
Mrs. Anupama Dalmia, when we look back to your history, when I look back to your professional history, I have seen that you have switched from a corporate job to your individual entrepreneurship. So, ma'am, switching, was that so easy to switch over the job, or should I assume that since you had a financial backup as a plan B, so it made you switching easier?
No, no, definitely the financial backing made it easier because I think that is a very important factor. So, just going back a little, the reason I had resigned was, because I had that moment of like this, that realization one fine day that why am I doing this? This is not my calling. This is not what I am in a sense. A lot of people feel that I left because of motherhood, but that's not true. I left much before, I had my child. And it was also nothing to do with me not being happy with my job. I was actually doing pretty well at Infosys. I was with Infosys, and I was growing pretty well over there also. It was just about, being closer to what I am as a person, and that's the reason I had designed to pursue things, which I'm passionate about and which I felt was my calling. Luckily, when I broke this to my husband that, I think I want to resign and I want to do something for myself, things that I'm really passionate about. He was very, very supportive. And I think, like you said, that was a huge factor which made it easier. Though it cannot really be easy, because obviously you're leaving something to see the corporate job.
Ma'am, that to Infosys.
Yeah, and it was
Ma'am,
quite
that to
stable and
Infosys.
everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to get so many on-site opportunities and things like that. It was quite well. So it wasn't easy, but yes, my husband was like, financially, I'm taking care of home in terms of home loans and so many other responsibilities that all of us have. So that was very assuring, and that was the reason why I could, go into this unplanned. So I just want to share that I didn't really have a very specific plan in my head at that point. But the reason I could take that route also was because I was not worrying about the finances at all. It was just what am I going to do, figuring things out, and establishing myself in an alternate career path.
So, ma'am, like you said, your husband was very supportive, but many a times we see that husbands are not supportive, or
Yeah, yeah,
many
yeah,
a
of course.
times we see that husbands do not empower their wives. So, ma'am, in that cases, what should women do, be it switching of jobs or be it restarting their career
Yes.
post motherhood?
Yes, that's an excellent question because I know for a fact that that is true because I also have an my own NGO called Building Bridges Foundation, and I have been working with a lot of women as a part of that, who want to probably find themselves, do something for themselves, who've been homemakers. So what I would like to tell you is that it is very common that sometimes the family or husband isn't supporting. So in that case, what you can do is firstly find an online tribe. I've seen that that has helped a lot, for many of the women that I've worked with and, I've come across. So when I say online tribe, use social media. Go out there. There are a lot of communities on Facebook, the women entrepreneur communities, women-led communities who are totally working and focusing on this aspect, on empowering other women, to find their footing, to train them, to guide them, to upskill them. That is what even I do as well. So, social media, I think, has given a very, very, we all talk about all the vices of social media, which is, of course, true. But I also feel social media has given a very powerful tool to women, especially, who have issues at home, to find a medium to, do something for themselves. You don't have to head out for that. You try to find it right from home and trust me, all these groups, I have seen so many women, establishing small businesses just by the support of these wonderful women in the community, taking their help, understanding a little more from them. So that is the first advice I would give that, stop trying to push your family to support you because I know it is very difficult. It doesn't happen. And so, just leave that. Forget about them. You go to social media, find this tribe of women who will really support you, encourage you, love you, support you, everything. They'll do everything. The other thing, what you can do is, if possible, try and read up on stuff that you're good at that you want to do. Like say for example, you're someone maybe who wants to get into digital marketing. Uh, Try to know more about it. There's a lot of resources again, available online. If possible, do a course, certification. But whatever it is, you have to realize that when you're alone, like when you don't have the support of those around you, it will feel a little lonely. But slowly, like I said, when you find friends, when you start doing well, and when you see for yourself what you're capable of, you will feel better. That these things don't matter so much. And I've seen in a lot of cases, eventually even the husbands have come around. Even that has happened, where maybe initially they were very resistant, not supporting, but when they see that, okay, this is what my wife is probably capable of, this is good, some also do come around, So yeah, I think that is what
Ma'am,
you
many
do.
a times,
Yeah,
ma'am, many a times that unless and until you actually earn, they do not value.
yeah, which is
Many a
very
times it has
sad.
been
Which
seen
is
that
very
also.
sad. Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. But that is the reality, and that's why I tell women that even if they come around, then it's good. But you have seen now, how things work in the world, and that's how it is. Unfortunately, there are very few people who will value you for whatever you are. It doesn't matter whether you're earning or not, and that's how the world works. And I think it just makes the women stronger, and I think that makes them value their own self. They stop relying on someone else for validation. They stop relying on someone else, even if it is, the husband. Like if you ask me, my husband is so supportive, yet I don't really rely on him for validation or, for my self-worth. I have found it in my own self. And I think that is what all the women should aim to do at the end of the day. Because we are all by ourselves there, I feel, at the end of the day.
Ma'am, this has been the part of working. Once you start working, again there is another problem. Many a times we have seen that once a woman is excelling well in her career,
Yeah.
then again she is facing some problem in her marital life because the typical male chauvinism and male
It
ego
goes.
still exist. Even in well-established families, we have seen that men cannot take that easily. So, ma'am, after your experience of working as an individual, after working in so many NGOs and
Mm.
visiting so many places as guests, so ma'am, what do you think when these matters crop in their marital life? What suggestion would you like to give us, or what advice would you
Mm.
want women to follow,
Right.
so that their homes doesn't break and they can continue with their careers?
Honestly, I'll be very honest here. Um, Finding best of both worlds may not always be possible. That's the fact. See, we have to accept reality. It is not, see, for me, it's a very different thing. My husband, like I said, he's in fact, somebody who pushes me more for my career rather than I would probably, at times push myself. He's he doesn't say that himself, but yeah, he is somebody who truly believes in equality, and I can see that in his actions. But I know that's not how it is for many people. I always feel that nobody else can advise a woman that, you do this or you don't know this. Because we are living her life. Today I might go and tell her, no, no, don't care about your husband not, being good to you. You leave him, you go and do something for yourself. It's easy for me to say, but she has to live that. So, in fact, as a part of even my NGO work or anything else, we never really advise the woman, if she's choosing to, probably not pursue something because she feels that it can cause a problem in a marriage, we still support her. We are there for her because I feel at the end of the day, we all have to decide for ourselves what we want, and how much we can take, how much we can fight. As you said, getting best of both the worlds, it is sometimes possible, but I would say most of the times it's not. You cannot do what you want and also ensure that the marriage is all going good. I mean, it really doesn't work that way, unfortunately, because the people who have ego issues, the people who find faults in you, they will find it in any case.
Anyway,
You
anyway.
do something as per them, even then there'll be something or the other. So there's no guarantee there. Um, I think what's the best thing probably a woman can do if she's really looking at, trying to balance both the things is finding some in between routes where she can do a little bit of planning that, okay, I do my work to such an extent that, yeah, it's giving me satisfaction, I'm enjoying it. And at the same time, I probably also give time to, my home, my husband, my kids. It's difficult, and I honestly am not someone who would advocate for that, because like I said, the ideal would be that the woman should be able to do what she wants to do without really worrying about, usko bura lagega. But that's how our patriarchal society is,
That is
unfortunately.
platonic.
Huh. So I will say just that the woman can decide for herself. What we all need to do is we need to create an ecosystem for her actually, that whatever she decides, we are there to support, we are there to understand. In the best situation, whatever is possible, we help out. And that's why I feel that women supporting women is extremely important today, because I have stopped expecting anything from men. Sorry to whoever is watching, but very honestly, we have seen how things are. We see how it goes. Even the men who are not really, very blatantly maybe sexist, eventually, I've seen that not many actively participate to really do something. So it's we who can do something for each other, and the more we do that, I think we just make things better for all the women out there, and that's the best we can do.
Ma'am, as I said earlier also that I'm receiving your positive, very strong vibes, and ever since I've started following you, reading about you on your website or maybe social media sites, ma'am, I've always seen your post, your reels, very positive, very kind. Sometimes I find your reels full of sarcasm, but they do not appear blunt. So that's the magic you create on your content. And ma'am, I'm seeing leading websites publishing your articles, publishing your content. How does it feel, ma'am, to reach
Oh,
there?
it feels good, definitely. See, I'll tell you, when I started writing, it was like more than 6 years ago. And the first time, when my post went viral, literally so to say, with lakhs of views and all of that, it gave me a very strong sense of um, power. I felt that when you have this power to reach out to people, you can do so much, right, with it. Like, you can spread across so many messages, you can entertain people, you can, kind of bring a smile on their face. I realized that what I've got into is actually quite a powerful thing, and it feels really amazing to be able to reach out to so many people and impact their lives in a small way. Sometimes somebody would message me that, oh, I saw this reel and it made my day. Or, I read a certain blog of yours and I really resonated with that, what you wrote. There are also people who have reached out to me saying that, reading something I had written changed their mind about something. I think that is a huge
Hmm.
win for me, especially. So a lot of that happens. And as writers, of course, I keep getting a lot of messages. Some of them are extremely, in fact, at times heartfelt. Especially, women, mothers. I get a lot of messages from women and mothers, and it is, I think it is very overwhelming, very happy feeling. In spite of being in this for years, even today, getting a message like that from a reader, or a follower, it's always great. It really makes it all worth it. It makes me realize that, resigning that day was really worth it.
And recently you were in top 100 influential, and that too by Z News. Ma'am,
Yeah.
this is no less than a trophy or an Oscar.
Oh,
So, ma'am, how did that happen?
thank you so much. I really don't know actually. So, they had partnered with a platform, I think, for this, and they just reached out to me saying that, we came across your profile, we liked it, so we just need some details, and it will go through a process of, jury evaluation and all, and I just sent them all the details they wanted in a form. And then the next thing I know in a few days is, yeah, that I've been selected in the top, 100 influential Indians. I think if you talk of the journey, how it happened, I would say that I have really worked hard. One thing I claim, everything else, I just don't talk about it much. I'm like, the people should talk about it and not me. But yeah, one thing I can really talk about it is the hard work that I've done. I have worked super hard. I think from the time I resigned to today, I literally worship my work, and a lot of my friends also call me workaholic. So that work, like, she's always into work. When are you not busy? It's like a joke. But I truly, truly feel so blessed to be, working on things that matter to me, because I know there are a lot of people who are working on something out of, compulsions, maybe obligations. Not everybody gets that opportunity. So I feel really blessed, and I try to make the most of it. So I think somewhere that hard work has paid off, working on so many different kinds of ventures, working with kids, working with women, my own writing. I'm also a trained dancer. So there are like so many, aspects to what I'm doing. And yeah, it's amazing to be recognized on such a huge platform. But, even now, I think more than any of these big awards or accolades, what gives me happiness is that one message from a leader or follower. I think somehow I'm still that person who loves
I
that
can totally
personal
relate to
connection.
that.
Yeah, yeah, that is something always,
Yeah, yeah.
especially kids, because I work a lot with kids. And, when they
Exactly.
say, or when the parents say that, they help in transforming their lives, or, in touching their lives, I think for me that is always really huge.
Hmm. That is totally true, ma'am. And what do we know about your day in life? If I talk about how
Uh,
your day is, how should we imagine the
that is probably, I
multitasker,
have this.
Mrs. Dalmia?
I have, the most random days because, see, because I work into so many things now, so my daily routine is never the same. Like one day I
Hmm.
might be having different events, the other day, the next day I might be working on a writing project, then I might be doing some workshop, which is why, a lot of times, a lot of my friends were like, we don't even message you for something, sometimes thinking, ki, Arey, she must be busy, she has such a hectic, random schedule. They also don't know what time you're doing what. So, yeah, a typical day in my life is honestly varying, which is what I think makes it quite exciting as well because each day is different. But yes, I do make sure that I take out time for my child amidst all this because I don't want her. See, these are the days when I can really spend that time with her. Once she grows up, she's going to get busier, and so this is when we can really bond and have our moments. So that is something I ensure that I take out time for that in my schedule. Like right now, she's in school, so of course, I'm doing all my work-related stuff.
Hmm.
Evenings, I take my classes. In between, I spend some time with her. Then again, nights, so we try to balance it like that. And in terms of work, like I said, every day is different, and I really love it that way. Unfortunately, my work is also such that I don't really get holidays typically. Like, a lot of times, even Saturday, Sundays, we have workshops, events, or something
Hmm.
else. But it's okay. I try to at least, have that one day relatively free for family so that we can go out, do stuff. I love spending time with my friends as well, in fact. So, whenever I get the opportunity, I try to fit that in. But yes, that's how the schedule is like.
Even the cooking portion, when we see your videos, be it dancing or cooking on your websites, you equally enjoy both of them.
Yeah. So
Apart
I
from
just
your
want to
workshops and
clarify, I just want to clarify on the cooking thing that the cooking thing is actually my mom's the expert.
yes, yes,
So
I know.
I'm just kind of like supporting her, in that endeavor. And so I just want, I keep joking that don't come to my house for a meal because I'm not the expert here. It's my mom. But jokes apart, yeah, kind of reliving her passion is definitely my passion. To kind of support that and bring it out. And of course, I'm a foodie. Not that I'm not passionate about food. I'm definitely a foodie. So I love that. Dancing has always been a great passion with me. My mom says I was born dancing. She's like, you were so tiny when you used to just groove to music. And then I learned, of course, I got trained as well. I learned Bharatanatyam for many years, and then I also joined Shamak Babu's Institute after this group for a while. And yeah, I think that training has definitely helped me, groom myself as a dancer. And of course, it's a continuous learning process, which I love.
So, ma'am, before we wrap up, what would be your final message to my viewers, especially ladies who want to start their career and who are actually doing pretty well in their domestic life? Maybe, what would you like to tell them?
I always tell everybody only one thing. I feel that, I am also not in that space where I can truly give any advices to anybody. But one thing I tell all the women that, please look within and forget about the motherhood guilt, womanhood guilt, and I don't know what all guilt the society just stamps upon us. The superwoman, super mom is, I think, one of the biggest scams ever in our society. None of us
Exactly.
need to be superwoman, super moms to be loved, to be accepted. So look within and truly find what you are. What I was just joking about not really being into cooking so much. Even so, I have a cook at home, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. Why should I feel guilty? It see, yeah, we are all humans, and nobody can decide what we should be good at, what we shouldn't be good at, what we should love, what we shouldn't love. You know, so just look within and find yourself. Forget about what society's expectations are. What family's expectations are. We are not here to fulfill expectations. Responsibilities, yes, but not expectations. And I think as long as you know what your responsibilities are, you're doing it. Before sleeping, you only have to answer your own conscience. No one else. So that is the only thing I want to tell you that please look within, find yourself. I know it sounds easy to say, it's easier said than done, but trust me, when you are able to let go of the guilt now, trust me, it is the most liberating feeling ever. I think I've managed to let go of that guilt when my daughter was probably 2 years old, which is like more than 5 years ago. And I feel so free and liberated. So today for me it doesn't matter what my husband is saying, what in-laws, parents. I mean, of course they all matter to me. I love them, but my decisions are not so much, driven around those things. And I think it shouldn't be, because when you know yourself, nothing else will matter. So that's the only thing I want to tell you.
That was such an entertaining, candid interview, Mrs. Dalmia, and I really hope to meet you personally very soon.
Yeah,
And
yes,
thank you so
I
much
hope
for
so too.
joining my Instagram live. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. You were a lovely host. Lovely, actually, I know it's kind of, but it was really fun talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for
Bye
joining.
bye, ma'am. So, yeah. This was Mrs. Anupama Dalmia. As I had already told you earlier, that she's a super mom, super entity. I'm just like I am. I personally feel that how many hats do. What should I say? I am actually jabbed right now. I'm not able to put it in proper words, but she is actually a multitasker. And if you want to know more about her, you should just go on her Instagram profile or maybe Facebook profile. You can also visit her own website, and I'm pretty much sure that you will be empowered. And I'm also glad that you all joined me for my Instagram live. You can drop your comments in my video, which I'll be posting in some time. And also you can mail me at let's uncork with lovely gupta at gmail.com. Thank you. Bye bye.